Food.
Yeah, we love heading over to the Wood Harbor Kitchen with Wini Moranville to talk about some yum, good stuff in the tummy. Let's go over there right now.
Welcome to Great Food. I have with me Herb Eckhouse, a guy who has really helped put Iowa on the culinary map. Now, Herb, it's always great to have you, but we're having you for a particular reason.
Yes.
You've got quite the celebration coming up.
We do. It's the 10th birthday of our prosciutto Americano.
That is fantastic, and there's a celebration. Everyone's invited,
yes.
And we'll tell you more about that later. But for right now, let's just talk about your prosciutto and how you got started. I met you in 2000, 2001, and I went over to your house once, and you showed me your little kind of back of the barn operation where you had some prosciutto. There we have the picture right there. You had prosciutto like hanging in your basement.
Hanging in our basement,
and
yeah.
You said, I want to make prosciutto. I want to, do this big thing. And I thought, well, good luck with that. I mean, when I saw
you were
that.
the only one who said that. You know?
When I saw that, but it was, I could tell you were really passionate about it. And since then, you've really come far. Can you tell us just a little bit? What was the moment you decided you wanted to make prosciutto?
Well, really, the first moment was when we moved back to Iowa from Italy. And you come and you see the amazing bounty in Iowa, and you go, wow, this is so wonderful. What are we doing that's special? And, there wasn't that much special. This was 20 years ago that we could say, oh, this is great food that's coming from this great bounty. So we thought, well, maybe we could make prosciutto. And then really what brought it into focus for us was went to dinner one night in Parma with a friend from Iowa.
And Parma is where prosciutto comes from.
It is. It is a center of origin for prosciutto, and they spread it all over Europe. When the Romans conquered Europe, they'd set up places to make prosciutto.
Oh, gosh, that's great. But you were in Parma
having dinner, and we had some prosciutto, and we were drinking wine, and we had some pasta, and we were drinking wine, and then it was time for a main course, but the prosciutto was so good we decided let's have more prosciutto. So we had more. So my friend looked at me kind of through that happy wine glow, and he said, if you make something this delicious, you're going to make a lot of people happy. And that really became the focus for us, and we felt like if we could make something really delicious with the beauty and bounty of Iowa, we could connect people back to this great blessing that we have, and it would be fulfilling for us.
And you have made a lot of people happy. I mean, when I travel out and about in the country and go to Chicago and go to LA and go to places, it's on La Quercia prosciutto is on the menu,
yeah,
and it's just
very fortunate.
And it makes me so proud because I'm always telling the waiters, that's from Iowa, and I know those people.
Yeah.
So,
good.
I mean, it's very cool. Yeah. So let's see a couple pictures of where you've been, where you are now. I mean, you saw the back of the barn. There you are, salting hams. I mean, in this really, it's how many square feet plant in Norwalk?
We have
huge.
About 30,000 square feet now.
Yeah, and how many hams do you have hanging around
We
there?
have about 80,000 now.
That is so great. And then there's you and Kathy.
Me every day.
There's Kathy there, your wife Kathy, your partner in all of this.
We're still really actively involved. Both of us are on the salting crew.
That is so great. Yeah. So anyway, so you brought a basket of good things. Let's see a couple of these things.
Okay, so one of the great things about prosciutto, it's so accessible. You really don't have to do anything to it. I'll do demos in stores a lot of times, and people say, "Oh, I have a recipe, so but I'm not gonna make that this week. I'm gonna make it next week or in the future. So I'm not gonna buy any now." But prosciutto is so accessible, a great way. So I've got my little basket, and this is my oak leaf.
Oh, oak leaf, because La Quercia is the oak.
Because La Quercia is the oak. So we've got a couple of things that we are kind of great things. Ways to do this.
And I think that's what's interesting, because when you walked in today with your basket, some of the camera crew here were like, "Hey, what are you cooking today?" And you said, "I'm not cooking, I'm arranging."
Yes,
and
I'm assembling.
I'm assembling. That's what it was. Yeah. And it's like that. To me, that's what prosciutto is all about. It's not something you have to cook with, although there are recipes for it. To me,
there are a lot of recipes.
The best way is just to eat it like most people do in Europe.
Yeah. So I think the first thing I want to talk about that we're going to do, I need some plates. And this is our prosciutto, so you get to see it.
Ooh, look at that big old ham. Yeah. That's what it looks like when they get it at the store, and then they'll slice it up.
Yes.
Unless they buy it in a pack, because you can also buy it like this, which is very convenient.
Very accessible.
Yeah.
Very convenient. Okay, so this is what we call the sandwich, because this is kind of our favorite sandwich to make with prosciutto. So you can see I've got some great South Union challah. Okay, and I'm just gonna put a nice generous serving of sweet cream butter. You don't want salted butter because you got the salt in the prosciutto.
Exactly.
And we're just gonna, and my son would take these sandwiches to school every day, and it was fun because when we did for the world debut of prosciutto Americano, we sold these sandwiches at the Des Moines Farmers Market, and we said we were talking, I wonder how much we could get for those sandwiches, and Aaron pipes up right away, $5, and Kathy says, wait a second. You came up with that very quickly. Have you been selling sandwiches?
He was selling sandwiches at school.
And then
that is so funny.
It is really funny. So this
look
is
at
it.
that. It's so beautiful. And I got to tell you something. I do this all the time at home. I take little crostini and put a slab of butter and prosciutto on top of it, and that's an hors d'oeuvre.
Yeah.
And you pass it, and people are like, whoa, butter and prosciutto, who knew?
Yeah.
You know, I love it.
Yeah.
So you're right about the saltiness and the sweet creaminess and the great bread from South Union, which you can get at Gateway.
Yes.
It's wonderful stuff. And now you have some fruit here too.
Yeah. So this is going to be, we on September 12th, we're going to be selling sandwiches like that at the Des Moines Farmers Market.
Great, in the morning?
In the morning.
In the morning. Des Moines Farmers Market. Do you know what stand you'll be at?
We have our very own.
Okay, well look for a little Quercia stand, and you can buy these sandwiches. Take them home, take them on a picnic.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so good.
So and one of and all the proceeds from our event and from the sandwich sales are going to go to United Way's Early Childhood Education Program. So it's all a benefit. So we're underwriting all the costs, and all the income goes to United Way's Early Childhood Education.
Well, you've given so much to Iowa in terms of just making us proud, but now you're also giving back too.
Well, what's more important than early childhood education?
Right.
So
there you go.
we've experienced it ourselves. So this is like a really traditional pairing, prosciutto and melon. You can do something like prosciutto and pineapple.
Well, I think it's very interesting.
There it is. There's an hors d'oeuvre platter.
There's an hors d'oeuvre platter. And you taught me something very interesting. You don't particularly love to wrap the prosciutto around it.
Right.
I ever since you taught me that, it was like, you're right. That's just kind of weird. It gets kind of slimy.
It gets slimy.
It's not the way you like it, but if you serve it side by side, it's awesome.
It's great.
Yeah. So that's really good.
So this is something that, what could be easier?
Oh, it's so easy, and it's a great hors d'oeuvre. I like it as a sit-down appetizer. So that's beautiful.
And this is another traditional pairing, and it's asparagus. So you can put them side by side. You can wrap them. You can wrap them and broil them. You can combine them. A lot of people will combine asparagus and prosciutto with egg, which is a really nice. Yeah, it's a really nice combination. So here's some asparagus that we cooked last night, and then we put a couple of pieces of prosciutto on the plate. And guess what?
My mouth just watered.
That's great.
That's awesome. Okay, listen, we have to tell people about this event that's coming up. There we have it up there. It's September 12th, 6 to 11. It's at West End Architectural Salvage. $30 a person. Lots of interesting, good food that people will be making for us, and then a cash bar. And it sounds like music. It sounds like a lot of fun, and the proceeds from that are also going to
all the proceeds go to United Way.
Yeah. Well, cheers.
Yeah.
It sounds like a great time, Herb.
Yeah. So we're going to have one of our favorites is arugula dressed with extra virgin olive oil and lemon zest, and so we'll have arugula wrapped in prosciutto. We're going to have dates stuffed with andouille, which is our new spicy prosciutto spread, wrapped in pancetta. We'll be slicing our acorn Tamworth ham. So the food will be great, and the music will be fun, and we're going to have here's our little crown. Our birthday crown.
Happy birthday.
We'll have a photo booth with this and a bunch of other things, so you can do fun photos, and I think we're gonna have like a treasure hunt. So
good. Well, what a great celebration.
And T-shirts from Ray Gun.
Oh, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
A celebration of all great things, Iowa.
Yeah,
that's
here we go.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much for having me.
10 great years.
Thank you. We'll see you September 12th.
You sure will.
Okay, thanks.
All right, 9:23 right now. All that stuff looks great. We'll be right back. This is a great day live, if you couldn't tell, in Des Moines.